Thanks for coming on Touk's Talks, Andrew. It's good to have you on. Just the first thing, we'll start off, like, there's a bit about footy, a bit about North, obviously, what you're doing, but is there anything that you miss about playing footy?
Definitely the feeling of running onto the ground. There's nothing like going out there, with a group of your mates and trying to achieve something. So, yeah, definitely something that I miss. But yeah, I'm really enjoying retirement.
As you would. Is there anything from your playing days, say especially at North, like favourite memories that you really miss? Like obviously running out onto the ground, but is there stuff around like being in the locker rooms or?
Yeah, definitely. I think it definitely the locker rooms. They're the things you miss because when you're in I suppose probably lucky being back now in football, you do get some similarities from when you're playing, but. Yeah, it's just hard to replicate that sort of the culture that you have with your teammates, and some of my favourite memories are playing cricket indoors, just rolling the arm over and everyone getting up and about and excited in between training sessions. So yeah, they're things that I think a normal workplace doesn't usually occur. So yeah, definitely the locker rooms, just going out for coffees and breakfasts. Definitely things that. I do miss now.
There's have you found that, like, now that you're back in the footy world now, but like once you left, what was the difference when you left the footy world to, I guess, reality? For
probably the biggest thing I noticed was just how much mental energy you spend when you're playing. In terms of like how much sleep am I getting? Like what do I need to eat? What am I drinking? Like my body's a bit sore. I need to just sit down and put my feet up. So they're the things I think when you finish and you actually don't have to worry about anymore, which is really good. Like you just I suppose you don't realise when you're playing like how much energy and effort you put into all those little things, which it just builds up and adds up, and over time it can just sort of grind you down. But you almost have this new sense of freedom once you finish.
We were talking the other day about how a lot of the coaches go for runs and stuff when we go away on away trips, and how you find it hard to find the balance between like testing yourself versus like not testing yourself, because you're not really training for anything, you're just training to really keep fit. But how have you found that? Like,
I've loved getting back into doing. I think you're like, I can't wait to just when I finish I'm going to put my feet up. But you have literally 2 or 3 weeks, and then I think you're so used to feeling good all the time because you're training so much, and as soon as you stop that, your body just doesn't know what's happened. So I love now going when we go on away trips with the NEFL team and just being able to go with some of the coaches and support staff, and we just go for a pretty cruisy run, and then we sit have a chat, and that's really nice. So you're able to keep fit, but you're not flogging yourself trying to break records.
That's awesome. Do you reckon you wish you had a chance to play with Dave? Because you would have been in the system at the same time, but do you reckon it would have been a cool opportunity to be able to?
Yeah, most definitely. I think it was, there was different circumstances. Obviously, Dave came up here to, when the club started, and he's been here since then. So, and I think probably because I was at a similar period, I was captain of North Melbourne, so it was probably always going to be hard for me to go. So for a long time, I tried to lure him down to North and try and get him to come and play. And he was a young kid and really loved being up here. And when I got to the end of my career, I definitely looked to try and come up here. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. But it would have been great to have been able to play with him. Because I left home when he was 13, so I missed a fair bit of his teenage years. So it would have been really nice, but it's pretty cool now that I get to coach him, even though it's sort of indirectly. But at least we see each other around the place.
Have you found when you were like, now Dave's captain obviously of the club, but yourself, how did you find being captain of like a very strong club in North Melbourne for was it 6 years?
5 years. It definitely was it was a challenge. Like I look back at it now and I just sort of I can't believe how raw I was back then. And I took over, and I was lucky. I had guys like Brent Harvey and Drew Petrie, Daniel Wells, who were legends of our club, and also some of the best players in their positions in the competition at that time. So I had some really experienced heads around, but I think I sort of took on the leadership role when I think leadership groups were really starting to form and become really strong units, and it wasn't just having a sole captain. And I think leadership groups at that time as well started to take on more responsibility within the footy club. So yeah, I sort of got to go through that transition, and yeah, learned a heap. And you know, if I had my time again, I'd definitely do things differently. Not everything, but you just with the knowledge you gain over time, you would do different things. So yeah, when I came to the Gold Coast, I was really keen to impart some of that knowledge and just trying to help out and where I can. So and it's been good. I think we're starting to see now with where the leadership group here at the Suns is going, and you can see in another 2-3 years' time how much stronger and how many leaders you're going to have coming through, which is really exciting. Yeah,
100%. Have you found it's been easy to then pass on what you have learned, and then what you would have done differently to Dave now? Because it's probably almost a great thing for Dave. Like, you've learnt so much in the time you were captain, and then now gets his opportunity as well to do that. Have you found that it's been easy to work with him in that space?
Yeah, like I also sort of understand we got a close relationship, and so I don't want to make it all about footy, but there are definitely times where I'll speak to him about certain things, and whether or not he knows that what I'm trying to get across to him. But like it's good to be able to just share experiences and hear what he's saying and just give him my sort of advice or just my experience, and hopefully he can use that, because I think you see how much on field and how much he's a leader in the way he sets the tone for his attack on the footy, and just standing up in big moments. I think that's something really excels, but he can continue to work on that off-field stuff and really finding his voice, and I think as he's encouraged to do that more and more, he can really sort of fill that void.
Yeah, 100%. It's been really good because you've moved up and living in Byron.
Yeah.
Obviously, moved up last year.
So Bridge has been up about 18 months now.
Yeah, and how have you found that? Because Byron's not really the worst place to live. So I feel like if anyone was getting away, retirement to Byron Bay would be pretty nice.
Yeah, it's great. Like when we moved from Melbourne, and I've got 2 young kids, so we sort of want to go somewhere that was reasonably warm, and obviously we sort of looked at the Gold Coast. We went down with Dave down to Byron one day when we were looking around here, and we thought, oh, geez, how good's this? So the plan was initially just to have a year down there, which was 2018, and we just loved it. My wife, just really enjoys the lifestyle, and the kids are thriving down there. So luckily enough, I was able to sort of the role that I've got here at the Suns. We've been able to sort of stay down there, and it's a bit of a it's an hour each way in the car, but
worth it. Surely.
It's worth it, when you're down at the beach and enjoying the sunshine down there. So it's a really nice place to live.
And it'd be nice because you've obviously got a really young family as well, and Dave obviously just recently a really young family. So it must be nice to have be close together, and then have the kids kind of grow up together and spend time.
It's great, and his little fella Charlie and my little boy Judah about 5 months apart, so just even simple things like on the weekend and coming up for the game, and we hadn't planned on staying over, but make a last minute call to stay after the game and stay at his, and wake up on Sunday morning and the kids are running around playing, and just really nice time of of our lives at the moment.
That's awesome. Just going into your coaching role that you have now, you're obviously like kind of a specialist coach in terms of in that tackling section. You're working as this like assistant coach for the women's in the winter series. Have you found that, like, moving into the coaching role? Have you what are the challenges for that have been?
I think I think when you're a player, I suppose you have all this knowledge, but there's actually, I think there's an art of coaching, so sort of learning that, and so just I'm just trying to pick the brain of the other coaches as much as I can. Trying to work out like how do you break down the skill to be able to teach it. It's actually harder than what you think when you're playing. How much feedback do you give players? What sort of feedback do you give them? So it's really lucky with the group of coaches that we have. They've got so many like such a variety of skill sets and experience coming from all different clubs. So yeah, it's been really good, and some of the sessions that we've had together, just to be able to share ideas and thoughts have been really good. So yeah, I definitely feel like I'm learning heaps. Still got a long way to go. Only early days, but yeah, just sort of slowly building my knowledge, and yeah, just started doing some stuff with the women, and that's another challenge because I've never worked in sort of women's footy before, so sort of been able to do that, and running reviews and. We're getting there.
Yeah. Do you have aspirations in the coaching space, like to be like an assistant coach or head coach or anything like that? Is that?
I suppose at the moment it's just sort of dip my toe in the water and just sort of see like how it goes. So we're only early days in, and to be honest, when I finished footy playing, I never thought I would go into coaching. That wasn't something that I was really keen on. I'd done a business degree, and so I thought I'd probably go down the business route. When I played some footy last year for Aspley in the NEFL, I sort of realised actually like I've got a fair bit of knowledge that I can pass on, and lucky enough through some connections to be able to come here and sort of just test it out, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So we'll just see where the journey takes us.
100%. Have you found? Are you still like pursuing anything in the business area at all? Is it always now it's kind of?
I have a million ideas, so there's always
you and Dave are alike.
Always little things that I'm following up and having conversations around things, but there's nothing sort of set at the moment. But there's definitely a lot of ideas floating around, and I would like to do something in that space at some stage. So it's just waiting for the right time.
Pick the right idea.
You never know,
exactly. Mate. You just got to pick one, and it could be $1 million in your pocket. That's Dave does it all the time. Your ideas, man. I feel
he's an idea. He's probably not an action man as much as I am, though.
I feel like a family dinner, there'd be a lot of ideas getting thrown across the table. Something like that.
No, there are a few. So from where I live in Byron, like it's a pretty creative sort of place, and a lot of people to be able to live there. There's obviously not a lot of employment down there, so you got to be creative in ways to find make a living, and so I feel like when I'm down there, it's always you always get the juices flowing to find the next business.
I want to say it's a bit of a hippie environment down there. Do you ever get caught up in that at all? Have you ever found yourself doing some real Byron-like activities?
Probably more my wife than me. I really like the people down there, and it's definitely different to your mainstream. But they have a really nice community, feel to it. So there are definitely hippie elements, but I sort of pick and choose which parts
you get in.
Get into.
You're not doing the hula hooping on the main beach, are you?
Not at the moment, so I can't even hula hoop, that's for sure.
All right, last question, mate. This is a real hard-hitting one. You've probably been asked it a million times before, but Dave or yourself, who is better looking?
I don't even know if I need to answer this question.
You can say yourself.
I thought it was pretty obvious. Do you know what? Being here, I've been staggered the amount of people that confuse us and can't pick us apart. Which where there's 5 years difference between us.
That's probably saying volumes for you, mate.
Well, yeah. So
you're looking young.
I don't know who that's better for, Dave or myself. But I run into people all the time, even on the weekend at one of the games, and one of the guys said, "Oh, how come you're not playing tonight?" I said, "Oh, sorry, mate, that's not me."
That's good as. Yeah. Thanks for coming on the show, mate. I appreciate it.
No worries.
Thanks for that.
All good.